Hello, El Benanita. How's it going? Hope you're doing well on this Friday. I think it's Friday. Friday, yes. Of course, how could I forget? Do you have anything fun planned for the weekend? You just wrapping up a hectic week? What's going on? Nice. So now these icons appear before the characters, which is nice. So if they're in front, you can see them. You want to put priority on the items, I think, in this game rather than the characters, because you could just pick them up and move them, so characters won't be obstructing things that are smaller than them. Um, so that's nice. So I can give the milk to the dude and he makes a mushroom, and then I can pick up the mushroom and I can decorate with it. What I need is to make it so when I'm moving stuff around, like this mushroom towards the edge of the screen, it'll pan. Hey, Sen. Yeah, I did all that art as well. I do art and code. And this is probably the closest to my natural style as far as pixels go. Um, I don't know how to shade real well, so everything's just very big and bulky, and lots of shape language that helps me out a lot. Lots of bold colors. Um, Rather than shading, I use like shapes to define, structure. You can see in the leaves just have a little bit of definition here. There's not a whole lot of shading, so it's just practice. You can draw. I know you can. You have to really be dedicated to just practice. It's not even, you'll get better on your own. If you're like, oh, I like how I did this, just do more of that. If you're like, oh, I don't like how this looks, then do less of that. But the key is just practice, and you kind of have to be like, in my opinion, you have to be good with rejection, because you'll be rejecting a lot of your own work for a while before you really start to like it. Like, I don't like any of my art, but I know that's a very common sentiment among many artists, so I'm just rolling with it. Um, I do quite. Oh, I closed that. Did I mean to close that? No, I didn't. Okay, I guess I have it open here. I do quite a bit of art, but it's just poking around. Like, I just move the pixels around until something feels good. You can see I've got quite a bit of tiles and different structures and shapes and flowers and terrains and blocks and doors and all sorts of stuff. But what's really cool about this project is, even if I don't know how to draw a house, like, I break it down real small. I know how to draw a door, I know how to draw a roof, all these different things. So what I can do then is I'm gonna make this room bigger. I thought this would be big enough, but you know what, my dreams are just too big. So what I'll do is the width, I'll add another quite a bit of space. I'll take the ground layer, move that out. Move this wall and move that out. All right, so like what I mean by that is thinking of drawing a house, especially with pixels is really intimidating for me. So what I can do is build this shape out, and Game Maker lets me select this shape and then drag it out. And do you see how it's not like scaling proportionately? And then the bricks on the side are repeating. That's called a 9-slice sprite, and this helps me create levels a little bit easier. So let's say I want to create a long house. I'm just going to put where I want the wall. I'm going to type in a roof, and that just looks like this, but I cut it in such a way where it's the same thing. I can make it a little wider. I'm going to bring that down. I'm going to put a door, and I have a house. I'm going to move that up a little bit and then move this wall up one. You can see just creates a house, and you can kind of move stuff around until it looks right. Like I'm gonna put a door there, it's too close to the edge. There even looks fine, but now look, check this out. I got this big open empty space where I could probably make some windows, right? So I don't know if I have any windows here. Let's see. Windows. I don't. So let's create some windows. It's super easy and fun. SPR window. I'm going to import, and I've already got a ton of these set up from previous projects. I like this thick window. Put the origin in the top left. I'm going to make a 9-slice sprite, and here I'm going to put the lines, the divisions where I want to create them. So I'll do something like that. I don't need anything to repeat because everything in these corners will just get stretched. So I'll leave it there. I'll create a new object called obj window. I'll set the sprite equal to that, and I'll give it a parent. It's a prop. And then that's all I need to do. So now I can use the windows in these houses. So I'm going to put one here. And then now when I stretch it, see how the window stretches with it? I think that's pretty cool. And I try and make the shapes as like ambiguous as I can. So when it looks small, it looks like a window, right? But when it's this wide, it's like it looks like a fast food window or a slot, right? Like imagine this is a shop, and then people are like can sit here. So if I put here's a good example. Okay, so this just looks like windows, right, to like a house or something, and then I can put bushes here and it just looks like the outside of a house. But if I stretch this out wide and I put some tables and stuff out here, now all of a sudden it kind of looks like a diner, right, or somewhere where where you're supposed to sit in front, and maybe they serve you out of here or something. And then maybe I'll put a sign up here that says, you know, someone's diner. But it's a way to change the look of these levels without kind of like having to draw a restaurant. And what's cool about this whole project is the goal of this game is to build things actually in the game. So the name of this game is called Levelmancer. You're mancing levels. You're just creating levels. It's kind of like a feel-good game where you play this character who's tasked with making worlds. He's a new Levelmancer in training, and he's got this cursor wand. This is for mobile too, so you can touch and create new shapes. But if you click and hold on these different elements, you see they get lifted up, and you can move them wherever you want in game. And then if you lay stuff in the right position, like if you make this into a restaurant, maybe there's some code behind the scenes that makes it, you know, there's some key things that define this as a restaurant. So then maybe people start to show up and ask for the windows. And then when you stock it with food, people will buy the food and they'll be on their way depending on what food you stocked it with. So in exchange, and then they give you money in exchange for money, you buy new parts and build more levels. So you keep repeating that process of building levels, attracting events, earning money, and then building new or buying new building materials. So you're stuck in this gameplay loop where you're just building, you know, these different levels however you want. That scroll's really obnoxious. So I got like these little mushroom pieces and some flags that you can move wherever you want. Like if I want that in front of the door, it doesn't make any sense to be in front of the door, but you get it. You also have these trees, and a couple times a day they'll let you pick up their the loot, the little logs, and you could stack them together, and then you could put them in your inventory or bring them around. I have something testing right now. These little bear statues, I can grab those out of my inventory, but you get the idea. It's a loop. And you don't necessarily have to draw. You can still be creative in a game like this. So that's what I'm working on. There's a few things, it's a little messy. You can see like there's some like floating blocks and all sorts of things like that. I think I need to clean this up a little bit. But the gameplay loop, think about it like this, is you'll be able to grow these radishes. You feed the radish to the cow. The cow loves it so much, he drops some milk. You give the milk back to the wizard, and he gets happy and grows a mushroom. And you decorate the mushroom. And then maybe later on when you put the mushroom here, it spawns like a little frog that sits on here, and then you click on the frog, he burps up a fly, and you take the fly and add it to your collection or something. So everything's very interactive. It encourages you to like just explore the world and click around and pick stuff up and move things and see how they interact and see if you can just get some items and unlockables out of everybody. Try and create the conditions in which everyone wants to do stuff. So like, you know, you got this little gacha machine, these little toy capsules, and maybe you'll drag a coin into it later and then it'll drop a capsule, and maybe inside of here is a new building element. Right now it's this like bear statue. Stack them up. And then it's all like, you know, the characters can actually use them like platforms, so. Wow. He's getting dropped. So that's what I'm working on. Fix item, level depth, and I think I've done that. So let's do a prop and step. Am I gonna put what on stream? It should be showing, right? Or is that what you're asking? You can see my screen when I said all that, hopefully, yeah? Oh, am I doing the entire development on stream? I mean, I would like to. You know, there's different personal factors, which means I can't stream all the time when I do this stuff. But yeah, I'd like to. If people are interested in watching, I'll be more than happy to show and make some friends and build a community. Like it's really what y'all want. I would love to build a community. That's like one of my goals in life. I would love to be able to do that and just have Levelmancer is just like kind of like the background thing that everyone's helping with. Like I love ideas. I love being able to utilize the field. Oh, Steam. Learn to read, Sam. Yeah. Possibly. I imagine one day it will be. The good news about how I'm building this is it'll work right in your browser. So I'd like to put it on itch first for some really big iterative gameplay. So you don't need to download anything. It's all point and click. And then you could also work. You could go there using your mobile device. So you would just be able to go there and play like instantly, no downloads, and you'd get updates immediately. Everything would be working right out of the box. I know when I like to test, sometimes I'll just be like standing in line at the grocery store and you know, I need a little bit of I just can't stop thinking about it, so I love being able to pull out of my pocket and work and then put it back. So I do like having something readily playable online. It's pixel art, so it's not too taxing on the PC or on the, you know, whatever you've got, whatever device you have. So I think it lends itself really well to being lightweight and adaptable. Got a bunch of notes I'm going through. Got to figure out the best way of using my time here. Oh, thank you very much. That's nice of you to say. I just want it to be fun, you know? At the end of the day, I just want lots of characters. I think it's nice. I want to have kind of just really chill, kind of wholesome vibes. I don't want there to be a lot of consequence. I'm not going to be doing boss battles or anything like that. There's going to be lots of colorful, fun characters, and it's going to be something for you to do kind of every day. This game, it's synced up to real time, so the environment changes whether it's day or nighttime in your area. Certain events will happen in the morning, in the night, in the middle of the day, and there's no pressure. You're just supposed to log in and create some levels and share them with friends. So hopefully it'll be a lot of fun. I'm feel good about it, where it's been and where it's going. All right, so this is supposed to be there. So the bear icon statue doesn't need to move. Hey, Manic. Hello, hello. Yeah, it's coming a long way, right? The problem that I had, I still have it, but not as severely, is it didn't. I want this game. I wanted this game to be a touch and click game, right? Like I want to be able to move stuff around the screen and build stuff, and I want to just touch it. I want you to have it in your hands and touch the screen and move the characters and really feel like you own the experience into this little world. And I changed a little bit, so um, after playing testing it, and I had a version of it that was much farther along. Um, just wasn't fun. I was like, what am I supposed to do? Like, I don't feel like it's fun to explore. I don't feel like it's fun to poke around anymore. I know what everything does, and part of that might just be because I developed it. But I said, I think this could be more in depth and intuitive and more discovery. So, um, I wasn't sure what to do with it, and I was tinkering around with a version of it on the couch, and my toddler comes up and asks me to play. He grabs at the phone, and just watching him and how he wanted to interact with things, and I knew it can do some things that he clearly didn't know, you know, and it was interesting that I didn't want to interfere and I don't want to tell him how to do anything, but he couldn't figure out that like touch and hold did stuff, and oh, if you drag this over to this, then it does this. And he wasn't figuring out some of the minute details, and I kind of had like a aha experience because the things he wanted to do with it weren't the things that I wanted to do with it. And I think I wanted the game to be something that it wasn't. So took a step back, and I'll use an example of how the simplicity would work. So, you know, in like Minecraft, for example, you know, you can create stacks in your inventory. Like this has 2, right? Now it has 3, and then you can put the 3 in your inventory. Let's pretend the inventory is down there. The problem that I was thinking of, if you only have one left click to do something, right? There's no shift click, there's no right click, you've just got a finger. How would you split this log if you didn't want to move around 3 each time? How would you split it from your inventory? How do you take one out of it? And the original solution was, well, let's say you click on it and then you pick up 1, and then as you hold it, you know, you get 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, you know, it goes up and up and up and up, and you have to wait and kind of let go from your grab of, you know, of your hover of when you want it. But going through the lens of like, would my toddler know that? If I told my toddler, only grab one, what would they do? And it's not going to be pick up and hover their finger over the stack until they get the right amount and then pull their finger off. That's too complicated, even though that might make sense to an experienced gamer or somebody who's familiar with those kinds of processes. Instead, what they would, put my brain into I would say, separate this out. What would you do? And all you can do is use a touch. Well, I would touch it. And I was like, oh, that's just way too obvious now. So you bring the stack out of your inventory back into the playing field, and then you interact with it, right? And then just like with that one motion of that one epiphany I had with kind of how to interact with things, like the item doesn't need to do anything else. You need to pick up and move it. But if you tap it or just touch it when it's a stack, it separates out, and then it just doesn't get complicated with hold, but not for too long, but just the right amount of time, and over the icon. Like, you just keep interacting with it. Yeah, and I think sometimes it's important to kind of humble yourself that way too. Uh, my older kids will say, "Don't make it pixels." We don't like pixels. Don't make it look old school. But there are certain pieces of feedback I think that are valid. I get that they're not attracted to this kind of art style, but watching them play I think is really important, and sometimes for complicated things, like give it to your mom or dad, or give it to a kid and tell them what they should do, and don't tell them how to do it, and watch their face and watch the screen and see the things that they try before arriving at your solution, and hopefully it's the same. But if you said, hey, you could separate these logs, and you see them poking at these logs and your logs aren't separating, then maybe poking them is what you need to do. Just get the game early and often into people's hands, and I feel like when you're looking at the same game and the same screen for so long, you lose sight of those simple solutions. So I don't know, sometimes it's worth humbling yourself, and sometimes something you feel like is really important might not be. So there's a few ideas I have in this game. Let me unlock the space layer. I'm going to turn down the volume of my headphones because the music's super loud in my ears. The theme I want for this game is I want to collect stuff, I want to build stuff, and I want to interact with stuff in that loop. Collect, build, interact. Collect, build, interact. And building is self-explanatory. You have stuff in your inventory, you drag it out, and you build levels. From there, you should be able to interact with it. You can poke a tree and get a log. You can click on a door and go inside, right? And then as the world is lived in by these NPCs and you're interacting with it, they can spawn materials for you to collect. You tap on a tree, you collect a log, you use those logs and craft a ladder, and you put the ladder on the house, and now your NPCs can get to the top of your house, and then it just kind of goes on to this gameplay loop. So I'm thinking of the core and some of the words and ideas I have with those three loops, and there's two kinds of directions I could take, and I'm not sure which one to go with. And the first one is like the power of your imagination and creativity. So I think of words like wonder and mystery and and dreaming and outer space, and kind of this beautiful mystical thing you think of when you think inward into your mind, of this endless space of whimsical, beautiful imagination, right? So where I wanted the items to come from originally is something like this, where you've got just this kind of like cosmic space imagination sphere down here, and this is where your inventory would be of things that you pull stuff from. So in the game it might be branded something like, oh, you pull ideas out of your space or something like that and onto the level, right? and then you put the ideas back into their space if you don't want to use them. You save them for later, you know. So the theme there would be like this imagination space could come from anywhere. It's how objects are spawned and everything comes out of your mind, you know. And I think it's a really cool effect. It looks nice. It gives it this like whimsy, mystery, kind of magical feeling, and plus it looks like cosmic brownies from Little Debbie, so that's pretty dope. Um, the second idea that I had was to have gotcha capsules, which I know is a little bit more typical, but I think it'd be fun to have all of the items come out of capsules. So when they're down, like, oh, you might find them in the level of like, you know, somebody says, "Hey, I got this gotcha capsule for you. Here you go." You could click on them, and then um, notice that. Oh, I don't. Maybe it doesn't work with this, but as I would, I would have some way of breaking them out, and then it would pop out into this, or I could put it back into the capsule and then put it back into my collection. So one is more about like the building and imagination kind of thing, and the other one's from a gotta collect them all kind of thing. There will be rarities for different building objects, different seasons. Like I might have a Christmas capsule toy machine or a Halloween one that's only available for a certain amount of time, and then you give money to them and you get different items, and then the items you can put in your inventory for later. You could build with them currently into the store. I like the idea of having the gotcha capsules with the rarities. I think that's fun. It's really nostalgic for me. I also know that it's been done quite a bit. Um, so those are the two things. It's either going to be this like imagination, creative space, like oh, bring your dreams to life kind of deal, or the other one would be more like you're a toy collector and you're building this environment from your collection of toys. Um, I do like the toy idea as well, since you're just kind of these like magic fingers, right? And everyone's just kind of at the mercy of whatever you want to control. I think that's kind of cool if they are kind of coming from a toy theme. You know, it helps personify yourself as like this omnipotent being in control of where their world is going and what they're doing. I just haven't landed the plane on which direction I wanted to take, because one's fun of like, you know, oh, you gotta catch them all. You gotta get all the rarities. Oh, you gotta get all the ones from this set. Oh, you gotta find all the hidden ultra rare items. And then the other one's kind of like mystical and whimsical and do your best and kind of thing. So I don't know. These are the things that I guess aren't super important right away, but become very important later on because it's kind of the theme of all these games, right? Hmm. I don't know. I'm open to suggestions. If you guys feel strongly one way or the other, if you want me to make something specific or have any questions, you know, I'm more than happy to help you or to implement or to talk about it. I'm just here to hang out. Let's build a community. Let's have some fun. Don't want to open. All right. So what I do need to do though is have these like inventory slots. Um, OBJ inventory slot, and I'll give it the same spread as the other one. Hopefully that won't be confusing. Um, OBJ inventory panel for now can just be a black border. Inventory equals new inventory. I don't even remember my inventory class now, how that's set up. It's just 3 by default, that's fine. Inventory dot add item. Items dot radish. Is that not one of them? Okay, so let's take a step back. Let's remove the space stuff. I don't want to like start implementing themes before I have an actual game. Oh, that's part of the UI. Okay, let's freeze that. I think so too. Like I feel like gacha games, especially in the mobile community right now, are just super basic. Um, and if you're just listening, it says I think Medic says I think it all ties in very neatly. Gachas are exciting, especially in an environment where you can interact with things. I think so too, and I want to be really careful not to make it feel gimmicky or forced. Hey Sen, thanks for stopping by. Don't be a stranger. I'm going to try and be streaming a lot more. If you want to know when I am or have visibility to it, I would appreciate a subscribe. If not, I'll see you around. Thanks for stopping in. Happy to show you anytime. I think it is fun. I want to be careful not to make it seem gimmicky to the point where I'm like trying to make you waste all your time trying to collect everything. Because not everyone will want everything. I think they'll just want. Well, maybe that's where I have it wrong. Maybe there's going to be two kinds of people. Maybe there's going to be somebody who just wants to collect all the rare stuff and have it. You know, everyone likes collecting stuff. Why not? And then maybe there's going to be some people who just want the functional pieces to build their level with. I don't know, but maybe after adding in some items and giving this to people, maybe they will answer that question for me. All right, so let's add an inventory panel. I'm gonna make that black and have it extend out across the bottom of the screen because I'm basic. Let's have an inventory slot right here. See what that looks like in game. Okay, that's fine. So the cursor will need to appear, the touch cursor will need to appear above. Do I need to make the touch controller the top? I probably do. Oh, it's not appearing. Oh, whatever. Okay. So this will hold an item. So I'll have. Oh man, what should this be? It needs to be a collision because I need to be able to touch it. And then I'll say inventory index equals 0. Inventory equals -1 with obj inventory panel. If position if place meeting xy other dot inventory equals inventory. So if the inventory slot is placed on top of the inventory, it will become a slot in that inventory and of that inventory index. So from there, I will say item equals inventory dot get item at index, inventory index. For the draw, we just, for now, let's give it a draw self. If item doesn't equal to -1, meaning if there is an item, let's draw the item. Our sprite equals did I assign item? I did. Okay. Equals item dot sprite. Draw sprite. Sprite 0xy. Let's see. Oh, I need to add. Oh no, I guess that's right. Else show debug message. Nope. 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 There's nothing there. Item equals get inventory at 0. Inventory panel. Inventory equals new inventory. Add items radish. So it's not picking up the inventory, maybe, perhaps, maybe? Unless I'm creating it second. I am, that's okay. Oh, wait. Yeah, no, that's okay. So let's do show debug message. Yes. If it's added, if it found one. It's not saying yes. Oh, yeah, it is. Okay, so there is an inventory in there. So I will say show debug message item. So the item is coming up as -1. Why? This? The add item? What am I supposed to be adding? Oh, an inventory item. That's why. New inventory item. This is the item, and I want there to be one of them. That's right, because an inventory takes an inventory item object that includes an item type and a quantity count. So then I need to adjust this so it's not the sprite. The item is this. That might be okay, but then the sprite is an item sprite. It's the item that. Ooh, this is gonna be messy, but I think it's item sprite because it has an item and a. No. We'll see what the item looked like first. Oh no, it said it was -1. Why? Why? Oh, it's radish, not an item that I added. I did radish sprite. This stack is 10 tags. Inventory item. As an item, yeah. Let's see, and then in the item, there is a sprite. debug message item. It says the item is -1. It's not. The item. Show debug message inventory. Actually, show message. And look, it's it is equal to -1. Oh, is it a capital R versus a lowercase r? Weak. Oh my god. Game dev, ladies and gentlemen. Game dev. Var sprite equals item.item.sprite. Draw sprite. Sprite 0xy. There's our radish. So there's proof that there is an object. There's something in the slot here. So let's have it so on touch target pressed equals function touch. So this is what happens when one of the touches touch this thing. We're going to say var item equals instance create depth touch.x touch.y touch.depth +1 obj radish, and then we're going to say touch.target equals item touch.target x offset equals 0 touch.target y offset equals 0. And then I think what this will do is it'll change the touch target from the box, yeah, to this radish. So now I can pull radishes out of this box. Pretty easy. And then I have all these that I can move with. I have a radish box. So let's do this for a second. So now it's in the center here. Hold on. 8 and 8. That's fine, whatever. It's just visual. And then, so then after I pull it, it should item dot quantity minus or equal to 1 if item dot quantity is less than or equal to 0, item equals -1. So now when I pull it out, it should remove, which it does, and I can't grab it again. If item does not equal to -1, do this stuff. So now we have that. I need something from the cursor. No, it's a touch. In the end step, target dot depth equals depth plus 1. If instance exists, target. Hey, Levelmancer, I think. How's it going? Hi, hi, hi. Oh, look, it's starting to get a little dustier. It's heading where I'm from. It's getting a little bit darker at night, so, or darker during the day, so it's showing that. That's pretty cool. It's weird that, oh, what the heck? Oh, there's some weird stuff going on here. The inventory pane should be back. So now I can pull stuff from it. Let's have it so I can give stuff to it also. There was, I already added in some code, collision top, on land. I think it's called on item give. On give instance, on give instance. Interactive cloak kid on give instance. Okay. So let's have it so in the inventory slot. Hey Flatsky, how's it going? Good to see you. Welcome in, welcome in. We're building a game. It is a chill game where you collect items, you build stuff, and then you interact with what you build to, in turn, collect more stuff, build more stuff, and so on and so forth, and interact with more stuff. So you got to start with this empty, foresty, grassy level as normal, and then as you build and collect, you can grow your level into whatever you want. You can give it a theme, you can give it a weather, you can go on adventures, you know, no consequence, just chill. The game runs in real time, so it's kind of like a mix between Animal Crossing and Mario Maker. Item equals items dot get item by object instance. Is that all there is to it? It can't be that easy. It never is. So I pulled that out. Boop. No, it's not. I think it's because when I let go of the item, and I release it, drag it released. Oh yeah, see. Okay, so it goes for the interactive first with obj. I guess I need to call this UI. So that's another change that we'll have to make. If instance exists, ID. It'll go back through. Nice. Yeah. I don't know much 3D. I would love to learn. I'm a little stretched for time. Typically speaking, my art style is actually a lot higher resolution. I like using vectors in Inkscape and Spine to animate. But for this small scope of a project and just for ease and speed of use, I decided to go with pixels. But typically my art looks kind of like this, which I know isn't 3D still, but it's definitely also not pixels. I'm a little bit more comfortable with that because I like to animate um, in a little bit higher resolution. Let me show you something. An example of my art in motion in a little bit higher resolution. So I'll use these. So using this framework and spine animation, I can create lots of different characters that can animate the same way based on just a few pieces of their face. And when I randomize them, you can come up with a lot of fun characters and scenarios. So that's just a small example. I actually have, it's not hooked up right now clearly, but I have a Twitch well, it was a Twitch overlay. Now it's a YouTube overlay, and that's always fun to build. Yeah, isn't that fun, Mimic? My dream would actually be to do this kind of art style. It's not harder. It's just a little bit more demanding is probably a way of saying it. And in fact, a lot of ways it's easier than Pixels. Because I can rig them. Like, I can make them run how I want. You know, I don't have to, I just kind of move their limbs around. Oh, you're looking for UI interfaces? Are you looking for examples, or are you looking for somebody to code you one, or draw you one, or what have you? Oh, look, the sun's coming down now. It's getting a little bit more yellow outside. A little dustier. Super cool. Doot, doot, doot. Alright, let's see if I can give it now. Boop. I can't. Why not? Oh, because I need to create a UI object. Do I have one? I do. It's of an interactive. Okay, let's roll with that for a second. So let's have an inventory slot. And it's not of a collision, it's of type UI. And can I still can't give it though. And when I click on it, it messes with the depth. So else target equals -1, I guess. Nope. Yeah, this is weird. It says exists target. Did I make target equals no one? Maybe, perhaps? I don't know. Alright. Let's worry about that later. I do need, though, this radish to enter into here. So maybe it's not... I'm going to put a message in here. I'm going to watch the debug. So when I drop a radish into the box, it'll say dropped. Or it might not. Who knows? It says dropped. Okay, so it is accepting this action. On give instance other.id. If I'm releasing it, on give instance show debug message. Oh, no, I don't know. Show debug message item. Oh, I might know already. It's -1. Doesn't need to be instance.object index. As I said, by object, not by instance. No. Item is not set. Oh, it showed up though. Item not set before reading it. If item does not equal to -1. Oh, it needs to... No, no, no. I don't need to have the item equal to that. I need inventory.set at. I think that's what it's called. No, that doesn't look right. Okay, so I need to set the inventory first and then set the item to the inventory because it needs an inventory item, not the other way around. On package of items. Menic, where are you at? You must be West Coast as well then, if it's just getting duskier there. Unless it's later and it's just the summer. Oh, my food's here. One moment. Let's see. Oh yeah, maybe it will. Who knows? Ugh, I don't want it to open in the browser. No, this is Windows. Here we go. Look at this, all these characters on here. So what I can do through OBS is have it like this. Did that do anything? Oh, I think I had to key it. Whatever, I'll leave this up for a second, but I think, actually, hold on. I need to have the YouTube. Nope. Things ain't gonna work. Alright, so I'm just gonna let this run around. You guys can... You want the sword, though. Look at all these little characters. How funny is that? I'm using neither one. In GameMaker, you use a scripting language called GML, which is a proprietary scripting language. It looks... it's probably closest to JavaScript, from what little I know of other programming languages. So yeah, look at this. You can take this sword and you can give it to these characters, and they're all happy. You could like hand them an apple, and they're like, "Yeah, I got it." You know, you could like, oh, the sword went away, but you can collect it there. But this is probably what I would want Levelmancer to look like first and foremost. But I also, it's really important for me to make it look like it's accessible for everybody. You know, easily playable and all that. Let's get some funny characters in here. I'm gonna take 60 seconds to stuff some sushi in my mouth. These guys look funny. I'll leave it here for a second. Don't only know this programming language. This is the first one I was comfortable with. I use JavaScript for work. Um, and some C sharp for well, basic Unity. I know very little, but that's basically it. Yeah, I'm a coder artist hybrid. I'm okay at both and great at neither. Oh, look at this. I can put a green screen on it and minimize it, I think. And then I can still have the overlay up as I work on other stuff. It's like doubled up on there for some reason, but you get the idea. Oh, because is it? Oh yeah, that's weird. Oh, cool. You know, C sharp and C++. Very cool. I stuck with GameMaker. It's the first one that I learned really, and I've been using it for I don't know 15 years or more now. It's just what I'm comfortable with. I respect them all. Different tools for the job, you know. It's super cool. You've got a couple under your belt though. Have you made many games? Hey, thanks, Medic. Thanks for joining. Much appreciated. I always love seeing a friendly face. Stay tuned. I'm hoping to stream a lot more. Ever come into contact with 4K textures? No, only because look at my art. I use really simple art, usually at just 1080p. 1920 by 1080 is the highest I'll ever develop for. I don't see a use with, especially with my style, for more than that. It's not really anything that I need. Yeah, I get it, especially if you're dealing with 3D. I mean, it really depends on your resolution, how far back the camera is. There's a lot of factors in that, right? Like the resolution for me is, for what I do, is irrelevant. Just flat shapes. If I need it bigger, I scale the vector up bigger and then repost. I don't want textures that are large anyways. It makes the game not run as performant. Smaller textures you have with the best output you have is kind of where you want to be, right? And since I'm not dealing in 3D, I don't really have to worry about these like high resolution textures. I'll never need them. I just need some reds, some greens, and big stripes of color. Don't know RPG Maker games. Yeah, I actually started with RPG Maker 95 and then went to RPG Maker 2000 when that came out, and that's where I started like learning game design on a really small level. There wasn't any scripting back in those times. I mean, there was, but it was all point and click. You didn't have to type anything out. It was before I think it was the RPG Maker V or VX that introduced Ruby as a scripting system. I think, but when I was doing it, it was just all point and click. There wasn't any scripting language. It was very structured, very linear in the way you developed. Oh, that's cool. What do you use to code with RPG Maker now? Is it all just still a point and click scripting, or is there an actual language? I think last I knew it was Ruby, but I'm sure it's changed. Use Ruby for scripting. Okay, cool. I need to have. Okay, so it's not the character. Let's change this a little bit. If instance exists, actually let's do this with obj touch. Instance exists target. If target dot x is greater than obj camera dot right minus pan padding camera dot pan. Let's just do it one at a time. So I think if I pick something up and go towards the edge, didn't move very much. That's weird. Or development partnership with someone? No, I'm just building this with myself. I haven't really worked in a team. I don't have a lot of reliable free time, so it can be difficult to develop stuff. Camera is X plus width. I see. It only went over 4. It's gonna move super fast. Not so bad. I don't like the jitter though. That moves too slow. So what do we do? Var difference equals obj camera.right minus target.x. So the pan padding, we'll say a grid size of 2. What speed? So if the difference is 32, we want it to be, let's call it max speed of 3 minus diff. Some people are using Windows 11 while I still have Windows 10 because I think they're still making Windows 11. Yeah, maybe. I don't really have a preference either way. I mean, the Windows operating system doesn't really interfere with my day-to-day. I don't sweat it. Use whatever you're comfortable with. Windows 10's what brings you pride and joy, then rock on, dude. Or dudette. Rock on. So why does it jitter? Did I put this in the end step? Still kind of jittery, but it's better than it was before. Okay, let's make it pan a little faster though, so we'll do oh wait. No, this isn't right. Okay, so the difference is 3 minus 3 times, I think. Yeah, okay. Alright. Yeah, that's what I wanted. I think. What do we do? We'll call this pan, and then we'll say var speed equals 5. That's a nice. Ugh. I have to clean that up, but that's a nice pan. So let's do that for now, and then target X is the word Ognaria. It's considered in other countries. Well, it seems to me. I haven't heard of that word before. So who knows? I do not know. I think this will work. So to the right, to the left. Yay, we can pan with dragged objects. It does make things a lot easier. And then we can keep pulling it down from there. One of the problems though is the pan won't work unless you're up. I have to add a check-in for that. So if you're hovering over this, it shouldn't pan. Or I can just move this over. That many style. Okay, let's try here. Hey Flat, can I ask where you're from? What country you're from? Combining several engines into one game? Like if you're referring to different like Game Maker and Unity and stuff, I haven't. If you're talking about like an input system and a platforming engine and a loading screen and all that, then yes, I have. You're from Germany, very cool. I love Germany. I had a very good time there. I have been. It's been many years since I've been, but it's a beautiful place. Lots of friendly people. Had a great time. That's right. So I gotta fix this too. When I give this inventory slot an item, so let's solve that. So oh yeah. So where I left off is I can give the instance. And I can say inventory dot set. That's right. That's where I was. Oh, okay. Okay. I need a set at. So items, inventory, get items, set. I need a inventory item, add item, get size, set at index equals function, inventory item, array, index equals inventory item. So at Poland, I've been to Poland. They have delicious food. also not a picky eater though, so but I don't remember them as being a location where I was like, maybe not. I've liked my cuisine there. Okay, so then we'll do. Hey, Charlie, bro. No, what I'm looking for with an array. Let me make sure I know what you're talking about. As I know, better cache, array length, and local var to wins. Oh, sure. I see you're talking about one of the other functions I have in there. Yeah, I need to go through. So I appreciate the feedback. I'm really not the best coder in the world. If it works, and I move on. There is all of this code is wrong. Like it really doesn't need to look like this at all. But I'm just trying to get some stuff down and out and released. So bear with me. Set at, did I do set at index? I must have. So, I gotta do this, hold on. Okay, so I give it an instance, and I can say var inventory item equals new inventory item, and then I would say items dot get item by object instance dot object index. So now I can get the object, and then I'm just going to give it 1, and then I'm going to say inventory dot set at index. I'm going to add inventory item to inventory index. Yeah. And then the item is going to be inventory item. Been to Poland once and all you ate were fries. I mean, selling yourself short on some cuisine, nah? All right, moment of truth. Yeah, I think I did it. Oh, and then I need to release, and then I gotta destroy the instance. Yes. Instance destroy. Instance destroy instance. Okay. And then I've got some depth issues to sort out. Boop. Nice. So now I have a inventory slot that you can store items in. And it should only work for just a couple items. I haven't added everything. Like if I try to add this, it's gonna freak out. Yes. Let's see what items there are. Should only be a couple. Radish and a log. Let's add a log to our inventory. Let's pull out the radish. Let's pan over. Let's shake out a log and put the log in. Yes. Oh, and it always takes out a radish. Why? Oh. Var object equals item dot object. Is that right? Item dot object, because item is an inventory item. All right, let's roll with that and see if that does it. Shake it. Log. Pull the log out. Yes. We have a working inventory system. This goes. I don't know why the touch goes behind the panel though. We gotta fix that. I haven't been to China. No, I haven't been to China. I haven't been in any Asia. I've been quite a few places in Europe and the UK, Mexico, Canada, North America, I should say. And then, um, yeah, then Mexico. I think that's it. Never been to China, Japan, Korea, Indonesia, Thailand. Am I planning to go somewhere? No, not anytime soon. When I was younger, I did a lot of travel, and I had time to, and I don't really have the time any longer. I've got a big family, and it's hard to travel around when you've got several kids and a job, full-time job, and I got too much responsibilities. I did a lot of traveling when I was younger. I got all out of my system. Not that I don't want to ever again, but um, I don't, for the current foreseeable future, I don't see travel in the cards for me. Look at this. That's interesting. So why is it? Oh, because I added this, and I think I need to not add that, perhaps. Because look, it's the touch still isn't appearing where it needs to. Depth equals negative. I'm gonna always put the hands on the top. Nothing ever needs to be higher than the hands. My job is to dev. um, it doesn't pay as well as my full-time day job, but you know, I can make some coin here and there doing some dev on the side. I wish, maybe one day. It depends. I would love to build a community. I don't know if you were here when I was talking about that, but I would love to build a community. I want to I want to put this up online. I want people to play it every day. I want lots of feedback. I want a Discord server, and I want people to be involved in the development. I want people to have an opinion of what should be added and what should be taken out, or what they want to see more of, or how they want to build. Like, I love the feedback. If people have a perspective about it, I'm all ears. I think it's super cool. Um, and I would love to find some support so I can do this full time. I would love to just make a game full time all day. I would love that, but right now it's not sustainable. At least where I'm at. But maybe one day I think that'd be super cool. I would love to stream more on YouTube. I have a larger YouTube following than I do on Twitch. I am affiliated on Twitch from some stuff I did back in the day. I used to be really involved in Twitch, but I'm going to move over to YouTube. I think the audience growth potential is a lot larger here. Okay. So this is, oops, that's above. Let's move that on. Okay, so I do want oh, maybe I have to add this after. If instance exists, target dot depth equals depth plus 1. Nice. So yeah, that's exactly what I wanted. That was the issue. I wasn't setting the depth of the cursor. So I can take stuff and drag it and move it into there now. I can pan across with the items that I have. I can click, and it moves a little too fast though on the edge. Maybe I should divide that out by a smaller amount. Um, maybe it can be 5, but times pan padding times 2. Maybe this will be a slower drag. No, that's faster, I think. I don't know. It's too fast. Let's just change the speed then from 5 to call it. I have 2 different speeds. 3. You have to look at engineers, build a map, create models, script, work for 9 long hours every day. Well, if you like what you do, then that's great. I think that's super cool. I have a computer-based job for the daytime as well, but it's definitely not development. It's just boring administrative stuff. Typical office job stuff, you know? Right, so, okay. So we have items. This moves at a nice space for me. A little bit slower, but I'm cool with that. Pull that out, I can put that in, I can take it back out. I can add up these logs, I can put them on, I can take them out. I lose the quantity of logs, so I have to fix that, but how come it's not dragging out? So depth equals target.depth equals depth plus 1. I think it's because then the item is adding. So let's do this. So how do I do this? Let's change this just to be in the create event for now. And then we'll say when it's released, put it there. So that works. Is that all I needed it to do? I think so. Nice. Yep. Sweet. I can put stuff in there and take it out, and then I can click on it. Okay, so now let's do a few more things for the inventory slot. So then if I gave it, it changes that item.inventory instance.quantity. So then it adds it there. When I pick it out, boop, it should do this. Item.quantity equals inventory dot quantity, maybe, perhaps. Oh, that's some weird stuff. Okay. Inventory. No, I gotta do some other stuff. Inventory dot Get. Get item. I'm having such a big brain fart. I don't remember what my inventory class is at all. Whop. Why some people have the same voice as you talk? Because recently, a few days ago, I had a person who talked just like you. I don't know. No clue. Some people are just the same. Some people are different. Couldn't tell you how, why, or where. It just happens. Call me an original. I am who I am. Do you feel the same, Rodrigo? Do I sound like everyone else? I might. Who knows? I'm just rambling. It's a way for me to get all my brain thoughts out at the end of the day. Do Americans generally speak at a higher register? I don't know. Maybe. I feel like there's probably more bounce and rhythm in the voice. But who knows? Get item at index. I guess that's what I need. So we'll do. Oh wait, no. Item equals item dot quantity. I think. Oh, by the way, did I get to test the new Game Maker Studio beta? Yeah, I think so. Are you talking about a specific feature? I'm in several different betas with Game Maker. I like working with the developers to help them with their testing, so they utilize me for some of the newer features and stuff. How much did you spend on this PC? I don't know. I went to Best Buy and I price matched parts on Amazon and Micro Center and put it together in an afternoon. I needed a computer. The one that I had just like it broke and I couldn't figure it out, and I needed one like that night, so I ran to Best Buy and I bought a bunch of custom parts and put it together in like an hour. I had done it only once before, and it was with a friend showing me how to put together a computer, so it was pretty funny. But I mean, it works. I managed to put together. I don't remember how much I spent. 1,200 maybe. I don't recall. I use this machine for my work too, so I put a little bit of extra love into it. Okay, so let's see if I can preserve the amount, the quantity. Yeah, okay, so I can. Oh, look at that. It's it's subtracting by 1. I need to subtract by the whole quantity though, right? So item dot quantity. Okay. Bounty Hunter. Go and install on the PC. Okay, yeah, that works. So I can preserve the amount. All right, so it looks like I have that going. One thing that I don't have though is when I tap on it and there's not an item, I get an error message. So let's solve that. Depth read only variable target dot depth equals depth plus 1. Target dot depth equals depth plus 1. So I guess I need to do a check. If instance exists, target dot depth. Show message, show what target is first, because I'm checking if it exists. If it does exist. Oops. Why does it keep doing it though? Oh, because it's at the end of this step. That makes sense. Ever had a virus on my computer? I have not. Maybe when I was a kid, but I just don't do weird stuff anymore, no. You're asking a lot of questions. I'm thinking maybe you're trying to get into my PC. If I ever had a virus, how much did you spend? You're in America, you're like profiling me. If I wake up tomorrow and my computer's fried, I'll find you. The tunes in the background are actually just the YouTube station. I typed in stream safe music and clicked on one without lyrics, and that's what's been playing. So you can find that here. I'll link it in the chat if you're enjoying it. I just don't want to get copyright struck if these videos go back up, so you know. How it works. I don't know why. If instance exists, target, show debug message, target. Oh, look when oh yeah, okay. See, it's -1. But I need to do this instead of checking if it exists. No, on touch target, not set before reading it. What's the touch target though? Unknown object target on touch target. On touch target. Target ID. Maybe I need to go back in here and do on touch target. Active capsule touch. On touch target. Begin step. If instance exists, maybe this if target here. Oh, target equals, okay, get instance top. Instance equals no one. So I can't set it equal to -1. So wherever I did that, here, I need to no one, and then instance exist target. Target equals -1. Item equals -1. Touch. This target. Hey Nick Gamer, how's it going? Good to see ya. I'm doing some real boring coding stuff. Yay, it works. Oop. Okay, disappeared. Bye. I don't know why that went away. Oh, because... Okay. This needs to be in... Why did that go away? What? So if I click on this, it goes away. Why? It's like the depth of it changes. Here, get depth. Get depth items. Space. Level. Items, capital I, depth. The name of this song that's currently playing, you scroll up a little bit, there should be a link in the chat. I don't know if you can see it, I'll post it again. I just typed in stream safe music and it's just playing from a 3-hour long video and it's currently at 1 hour and 54 minutes. I don't know the name of the song. Unfortunately, it's just a stream of stuff. It has over 1 million views. Good for them. You already know. You do ya? Alright. Why, when I click on that... Oh, you know what? It's still... Oh, everything I click on is saying, there, get depth. So maybe it's something that, Is there something in the touch? Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, here it is. Instance create depth. Cloak kid. Oh yeah, check that out. Characters. I don't think that was related to anything, but I sometimes create a browser in every language in the world. I don't know that language. Very interesting. Boop, boop. Okay, so I can put those in there, but it's still disappearing. At least that error message went away, but it's why is the depth of that changing? If I take out this right here, yeah, it does change it. It's weird that it would go behind the ground layer though, so oh yeah, it's when I let it go. Oh, what if I do target? I need it so when I let go of it, is it the end step? This is fine in here. It's not your fault, little code. It's here. Nope. Okay, it's right where I toss it, isn't it? Oh boy. Oh, it's in the items. Depth. Maybe not. Why is this inventory panel's depth changing? Let's remove. Let's take the ground layer and make that visible for a second. See what's happening. Is it being deleted or? Whoa, what? The ground layer appears when I click? What in the world? That is very weird. Is it changing the sprite? Click on this, it appears. What is happening? Oh, because it's... Yeah, but how come when it's not visible and I click it, it's making it visible? That's weird. That's a strange behavior. Oh boy. Alright, well, it's changing the depth of the grass behind it, not of the UI. It's bringing the grass up, it's not pushing the other thing down. So... Good news is the inventory thing's working fine. Right? Yes. We need to change this grass object to be temporarily ground. This could be a prop. I think maybe. This could be a grass. No, it's not changing the sprite. It's this is actually a grass object. So when I click on it, I added that code in there so whatever item I was holding would appear right underneath my cursor as I moved it around, but it's treating the ground here like it's, because it's an item, so it's treating it, you know, it's treating it like an item, and it's picking it up and it's moving the depth of the item above everything else. So what I want to do is create a new, I want to make sure it knows that this isn't an item, it's the ground. And then I'll add some code in here from a prop instead of saying on target touch. On target touch equals function touch dot target equals no one. I think is fine. So when the ground is here and I touch, no, it still comes up. Pressed on target touch. Not on target touch, it's as soon as I tap. Target equals instance top. And then I do target on target pressed right here. Function touch target equals. I don't know. I don't know if it's stuck or if it's lagging. On my screen, nothing is stuck, so it might be something else. Okay, that's fixed. So now I can put items down inside of it. Oh, thanks for joining. I appreciate the conversation. Thanks for giving me somebody to talk to. I really appreciate it. Hope to see you soon. I'll be streaming more. Have a wonderful Friday. Have a good weekend. Bye bye bye. Alright. Whoa, it doesn't touch the ground anymore. Why? Because it's not a collision? It's a prop. It has to be a collision. Yep. And I can click and I can move it down in there. Okay, so bar x equals x plus sprite width times 0.5. Bar y equals y plus sprite height times 0.5. X, y. Okay, so I don't want that to happen. I'll figure that out in a bit. It looks like the ground pieces, or the platform pieces, when they're being held, are appearing above. And then we'll do a one of these guys, if quantity is greater than 1. Quantity is not in there. Oops. That works for now, I guess. The inventory panel needs to be... This is of a UI. This needs to be of UI. Event inherited. Nice, so now it follows. Takes up a lot of real estate. It's just, I know it's just a bar, but it takes up a lot. And it's a little bit more than 16 pixels. Ugh, I don't like that, but I don't think there's a better way around it, honestly. Maybe I need to make it just like... Well, let's find the lowest. Added 4. Could I increase it by 1? Yes. It's so cramped now. I mean, I might have to, but on the UI layer, let's do this. Just for some flavor. This could be a button, right? And then it could kind of come out. I might, let's experiment with that. So let's do this inventory pane. What if we did like this? Like put it on a little line. This. A smaller GUI. Yeah, I want it to be as natural as possible. Like I don't like GUI at all. Like I don't want one in this game, to be blunt. I realize, especially in a game where you're building stuff and collecting stuff, like you need some, sure. I would love to integrate it though. This doesn't look bad. It opens up a lot more of this, and if I can have like items, you know what I mean? I could just like bloop, put it back on my item bar somewhere. Um, so what I can do as an example, I think, right? I can have that on here. I don't know. Something like that, right? And I can combine all these, and that's not working. It's only taking 2, that's okay. I can add this logs in here. Boop. 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 Don't know if those will be the final sound effects, but you know. Let's put them in there. Let's do one with 2 just to make sure that's working. We'll do 2 and 1. Okay. So that's not bad, right? That's not super intrusive, and it still looks like there's slots at the bottom, and I can see behind it, so I'm still getting credit for the ground layer behind it. I could also make it so... What if I clicked on... After I click on the bag, if these elements went away, so I click on the bag whenever I want to see stuff in the UI. That might be nice. Ready for prime time, baby. Why would you click on the bag to begin with? Well, if you want to hide the inventory, like if you don't want this in the space, if you just want to poke around in the level, I was thinking like the bag might be a hide and show kind of thing, right? You click on the bag, it opens it up, and if it's too open, you click on it, and it goes down smaller. Well, you could just leave it open then. If you don't have to open and close it. But I'm saying if you want to see more of the level, like if you think that there might be some items underneath it or something, you can close it and check it out that way. And then also, it might be a cool feature too. Instead of like finding which one has room to stack, if you just always just dropped it into the bag will put it in the next available slot. And that might be a nice way of doing the inventory there. Bag like there actually, it's funny you mention that. There's a let me see if I can find it on itch. There's called like inventory hero or something. I'll know it when I see it. It's a very like this one. Look, inventory the hero. You play as the oh, it works in my browser. You play as the inventory bag to a hero, and your job's to like manage stuff. Look at this. Let's play it. Why not? You're the inventory. You gotta grab the loot, put it inside the backpack, equip it by dragging it to the hero. The hero dies if it is hit without armor. So I gotta keep him equipped. So I gotta what? Okay, let's put your loot in here, sir. All right. So let's give him that back. Let's give him a new item. Armor. Oh, I see it. And then I gotta like make it fit. It's kind of hard. Hello. There it goes. Is that a hat? Yeah, it's a hat. That's my boss. That's a boss. Boop, boop, boop. So, even though you made a joke about it being a bag-like, I feel like this is a bag-like, no? Uh-oh. Don't hit me. I'll die. No! That's right. You get the idea. I thought that was funny. On target, on touch, target, pressed equals function, touch. Touch.target equals no one. Image index equals not image index. So I think when I tap on the bag, it'll open and shut. Yep. At least visually. Okay, so then we will do this inventory panel. We'll say target x scale equals, what was it, 28? And then image x scale equals lerp, image x scale target x scale 0.5, I guess. So that's fine. And then when I click on the bag, I want it to toggle it. So if image index equals 0, meaning it's shut, obj inventory panel dot target x scale, x scale equals 1. Else obj inventory panel dot target x scale equals 28. And that's poor programming practice, but just to see, I'm going to check it out. So closed, open, closed, open. That's pretty cool. So what I'll do from there is in the inventory slot, I'll have a script here saying if place meeting xy oj inventory panel if not, I'll just do check for this. If there is a place meeting, visible equals true, or else visible equals false. It's kind of funny. So now I got like a hide show. I mean, it's still functional, but it's kind of funny. So let's make that a lot slower. So instead of 0.5, I'll do 0.2. A funny little animation. But I kind of dig it, right? It's getting somewhere. Magic. Boop, 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 boop. And then the bag just floats there. That way you can see a lot more of the stage. In case there is more interesting things under here, like, I don't know, you might not want to see it, but if you feel like you keep tapping these items and you want to focus, you could just keep that down. Pull it out, put a login. And then maybe when it's down, you just drag it over to the bag and it puts it in the next available one. Might be kind of cool. So there's a lot of to-dos in here, so let's add some stuff. Oh, the cow, thank you. That's nice of you to say. There's I got a bunch of stuff in here, like I don't know if I added the pig yet. Let's add some fun characters then. Hold on. Try to distract me. You know, I'm not an organized person. What's up, Lost? Okay, so the game loop is, well, first of all, let me say it's supposed to be like a chill, building, wholesome game. Think of Animal Crossing meets Mario Maker. So there's kind of three main ideas. That's the game loop. You collect resources from the level, things like, you know, wood, rocks, fruit, different items. You build and buy new building elements, and then you design the levels. And then based on how here's the real kicker is, based on how the level is built, different events or characters might spawn. And you interact with those characters and events to get new items, and then you start the cycle over again. You get items, you build stuff, you interact with those the events. So the idea that I had going into it was like, you know, when you're playing a Mario Maker level, you do a lot of stuff. You add a Goomba, you take out a Goomba, you add 1,000 bricks, you delete 1,000 bricks, and for you it's just you building a level. That's just what you're doing. But imagine if you're one of those 10 Goombas and you're walking and chilling with your friends, and then a magic hand comes out of the air and poofs your friend right out of existence. Or imagine you're the last remaining Goomba whose friend just got sucked out of existence by this magic hand. Like, how are you supposed to feel, and what do you do, and who are you? You know, like, what's your role in this level, and what's the pressure like? And if you could talk to that Goomba, what would they say? Do they respect the hand? Are they scared of it? That kind of stuff. So it's exploring some of those ideas, but it's in a very fun, wholesome way. So I can illustrate this here. So there's a lot going on, I know, but we've got this cow, right? And this is your the game's called Levelmancer, and you play an apprentice Levelmancer. You're this little mage in training who's got this magic hand that you can pick stuff up and move stuff around and move the cow. You can see the little guys like commanding it to move around. So this cow wants a turnip or a radish, and when he eats it, he's super happy and drops milk. When you give the milk back to a character, he makes a mushroom platform. So you could pick up that mushroom platform and make your level pretty. Now, maybe the next day, it's tied into real time. So you notice that where I'm in right now, it's almost 7 p.m. Sun's going down. I've got this nice, beautiful sunset in the distance. So it goes into real time. But maybe tomorrow, if I wake up super early, there will be a frog, you know, enjoying his mushroom sit in the morning dew. And then maybe if I catch that frog, I can either add it to my collection. Maybe if I tap it, it'll drop a bunch of coins and run away, that kind of thing. And then I use those coins to go into the shop and buy more items. So the goal is that I'm designing this world and kind of utilizing the NPCs and characters in the interactions to further build and populate this world to be however I want. And there's no consequence. You come in, you chill, you poke around on some stuff, you interact, and you just have fun. But one thing that I was really passionate about was having like these interactions where you feel like, the character's moving around and see how he's like reacting as I'm pushing and pulling and stuff. And if I drop him from a distance, like he'll fall down on his face and then hop back up. And I wanted there to be, it's sad. I wanted there to be an emotional connection when like you're picking on these townspeople and, ripping up their lives just for the sake of collecting wood or something, and so I'm just building in the basic systems right now. That's the game loop that I showed you with the cow and the mushroom and that kind of thing. But get the idea. Just more characters and stuff that you can do, and you can click and hold and rearrange things. Like if you want the tree, you can tap on and get wood. You can combine the wood and put it in your inventory for later. Um, it's that kind of thing. But it's a 2D side-scrolling game. You'll fully compatible with mobile, so every finger on the screen gets a new cursor, so you can do multiple things at once, or hold it with a friend and design levels. You can do lots of cool stuff with it. So the game is still feeling itself out. It's bound to change. It'll go through a lot of different iterations before it stops, but that's the idea right now. And I am doing separate things. I mean, hypothetically, you probably could, but right now you can't. It's just very specific. It's like it's not even in the code for the cow to drink the milk, and it's like hard coded that if you drag the milk specifically over the player, it does that. Because I want to show an example of maybe what that looks like. But the what I have in mind is like the possibilities are endless. Like maybe anyone can be gifted any kind of food item, and maybe if you give a chocolate bar to the cow, it'll give you chocolate milk. And I want people to experiment. I want everyone to get to say, oh, what happens if I do this, or what happens if I do that? And I think there's a lot of room for fun kind of contraption based things. So rather than just pasting things into a level, like as an example, like imagine there was this fountain over here, right? And it was like it had like like an input slot for something on here. So then, the water's just coming out. But if you hook up different liquids to it, it comes out of the fountain in different ways. So, maybe if food's coming out of the fountain, it'll attract, monsters or creatures or bugs or something, and so on and so forth. So I want it to be really interactive where you can build and experiment and kind of do things the way you want and just see what happens. How are you dealing with resolution for different size screens? Well, it is currently in a 16 by 9 resolution. I haven't put in a hard stop for that because it's expanding to fit the screen right now, and because it's so low resolution, it looks pretty good when you put it onto a device. And if it can't figure out something that looks good, it just puts black bars on it. So it's just played in the browser right now. When it goes to full screen, there's no there's no reason why I wouldn't want them to see more from the top or on the sides of this, so I can fit the view to whatever screen I need to fit the dimension. There's no there's no bosses and there's no strict level design, so I can move the view out left and right and up and down as much as I want, and I don't feel like I'm destroying my game design by doing that. So I lucked out, at least in this project, for that. But it is by default to 16 by 9 resolution. I think it's 256 by 144. I think. I don't know. Ask the dev. Joking. You're also working on a game in Game Maker. That's cool. Tell me about your game. It's fun to tinker. There's a lot more things I need to put into this game before it's like fun to play on its own. But I think the bones are good. I think it has potential. I think it looks nice, and I don't know. I think it can go somewhere. Alright, I added a real inventory and I added items. I need to make it so polish bag mechanic, polish bag inventory mechanics. I also want to make inventory slots functional when they hide or show. Make an option for can touch for touch enabled and be able to move to the next touchdown if disabled. Okay. My game has smooch potential. Make it a precision platformer, beat 'em up. Oh, fun. Sweet. I actually really like GX games. Oh, excuse me. Long day, I guess. How's GX games treating you? I did a rollback game in Opera. No, I know it was so much. I was teasing. I thought that was funny. I prefer that my game has smooch potential. Personally, if somebody wants to come kiss my game, then I think that's fantastic. A lot of games have so much potential, but only very few have smooch potential. As a compliment, I'll take to heart. Smooch.
I got a small chick, but wait till it get hard. She gon' be like, damn, shit, my God. Put that thing up before you ram it in my stomach. Shut your ass up and take this with me like a woman. I got a small dick, yeah. Wait till it get hard. She gon' be like, damn, shit, my God. Put that thing up before you. I got a small dick, but wait till it get hard. She gon' be like, damn, shit, my God. Put that thing up before.
You're aiming for Steam. Cool, cool, cool. Oh, right on. I'd love to see your stuff. Send a message or leave a comment on here. I'll get to it. I love to play games. I'd love to see what you made. I'm gonna move the chest for another day. The capsule's not doing it for me. This is fine. Let's delete that. Let's clean this up a little bit. It's a little stressing me out. It's too much. I'm gonna lock the UI for a moment. I'm gonna click on the level. I'll hide the UI. Radish is what I wanted. You can come over here. Oops. I'm gonna click on that and delete it. I think that makes me feel a little better. Trapped. I hate that I can't like can't see the bottom trapped 5. I can't see like the messages to the bottom right because the emojis are in the way. I wish they weren't there. Anyways, it's getting late. I think it's time they signed off. But I appreciate all y'all for watching. I plan on streaming more, but I always do. Stay tuned if you would like to see more Levelmancer. I'm definitely working on it all the time. If you have any games you want me to play, send me a message. You can find me also twitter.com/matcharcade. I guess x.com now. It's a whole nother discussion, but stay in touch. I'd love to build a community. I'd love to meet you all. I'd love to play your games. So it's been a real pleasure, everybody. Thank you so much.